Welcome to the 7th episode in a Legendarium series about medieval trade. In Part 7, The Birth of Modern Europe, we will talk about how the Black Death helped to transform Europe from a medieval to early modern society. The Black Death must rank among the greatest catastrophes in human history, causing the death of almost one-third the human population. Yet it left the hardest-hit continent, Europe, profoundly transformed. Despite a much reduced population, down to one-third of pre-plague levels in the worst-hit regions, peasants could now pick and choose their land. In the half-century after the Black Death, crop yields rose, not because of better agriculture, but because the peasants only farmed the very best land. Magnates, who had to pay high wages just to keep the land cultivated, either abandoned their estates, rented them out, or turned to less labor-intensive forms of farming, like raising sheep and cattle. They could turn their efforts to wool and beef, in part because there weren't as many people who needed feeding. Other enterprising lords turned to cash crops, like hops or sugarcane instead of grain. More and more people became part of the market economy as trade networks revived and widened to move these goods from place to place. With pay going through the roof, huge swaths of society had more money to spend on consumer goods, from beer to clothing to furniture. Before the Black Death, peasant holdings grew so small that only the eldest son could hope to inherit land. By 1450, many peasant families could leave a parcel of land to all their children, including daughters. Indeed, women entered the workforce in numbers previously unimaginable, entering well-paying trades like metalwork, weaving, brewing, and stevedoring. When husbands died, it became common for their widows to take over their shops and run them on their own. In England, King Richard II even elevated a noblewoman to the rank of baroness in her own right, without her marrying a husband of that rank. The status of women would endure until the late 1500s, when the population evened out and men began pushing women back into the home. Innovations that sprang up in the centers of the old economy, like Venice, Genoa, and Bruges, started to spread more widely across Europe. Young men from places like Germany and England went to study in Italy and brought back accounting methods like double-entry bookkeeping to the Rhineland and London. Banking grew more complex as credit networks sprang up even among common people in middling towns. Credit instruments like bills of exchange and book transfers became more common, which made more money available for investment at lower rates. Suddenly, even modest burghers could become involved in big trade ventures, and there were a lot going on. Few states got more into these trade ventures than Genoa. The near opposite of Venice, located on the northwestern coast of Italy, Genoa benefited from being close to the big European markets in Paris and Madrid. Much like Venice in the Adriatic, it began founding trade outposts in Corsica and Sardinia and built a fleet to fend off pesky and profit-snatching pirates. In time, it fought a series of wars with Venice for control of the Mediterranean, but Venice kept control of its eastward routes to Asia. With its monopoly on silver, silk, incense, and opium intact, Venice and the Italian maritime republics only became richer. Trade in Europe developed to such an extent that even relatively small communities had access to weekly markets. Perhaps a day's travel away, they could access larger but less frequent fairs, where the full range of medieval consumer goods tempted the shopper and the small retailer. Big magnates organized markets and fairs. Town councils and churches, granted a license to do so by their king, could make money from stallholder fees and boost the local economy as shoppers used local services like taverns and inns. Yet, as always happens, things changed. It happened quietly at first as the Kingdom of Portugal seized some towns on the North African coast and gained access to the Trans-Sahara trade. Merchants and camel caravans braved the Sahara Desert, darting from oasis to oasis, bringing gold, salt, and slaves to the coast. Many European kingdoms sought silver, spice, and silk from the east, and Prince Henry, the navigator of Portugal, took the keenest interest in trying to find a second Asian route by poking along the West African coast. He founded some Atlantic colonies which turned a profit on harvesting resin and growing grapes. As they sailed further down the African coast, they brought back stories of exotic kingdoms, along with cargoes of rosemary, ostrich eggs, and seal skins for trade. In the year 1453 AD, the Portuguese curiosity in the West suddenly became far more important when the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople. Suddenly, trade along the usual eastward routes became far more dangerous and expensive. Sugar planters who once dwelled in Cyprus and Sicily moved to the Atlantic islands to get away from Turkish piracy. More and more explorers headed further south in search of a route to riches always dearly bought on the East Mediterranean coast. Whether or not they knew it, Europeans had entered the age of exploration. That wraps things up for this Legendarium series. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.